Something happened this week that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. I was talking with someone, a pastor, and he told me about a man who'd been watching the church online. Occasionally he'd show up, not fully in yet. He's still on the outside looking in, but something pulled him through the door this past Sunday. And after the service, he told Pastor, that sermon you gave was speaking directly to me, like it was written just for me. Now, I know that feeling. I know exactly what that feels like. My name's Kirk Taylor, and today I want to talk about what it means when a message finds you, what's actually happening in that moment, why it matters for where you are right now, and why I think more people are experiencing it than we realize, and what that tells us about what God is doing. In 2016, I walked into a church. I wasn't looking for a church. I was looking for something. I just didn't have a name for it yet. And I sat down, and the pastor started speaking, and somewhere in those first few minutes, something shifted. It felt like the room disappeared, like everything around me was not there. It felt like he was talking directly to me, not the person next to me, not the crowd, but me. Like somehow he knew exactly what I was carrying and exactly what I needed to hear. I found out later I wasn't alone in that. Other people sitting in the same room that same Sunday felt the exact same thing. That's not a coincidence. That's not even just good preaching. That's something else entirely. That moment changed the trajectory of my life, and I've never forgotten what it felt like to be found by a message when I didn't even know I was looking. So when I heard about this man watching online, occasionally showing up, not fully committed yet, I recognized him immediately because I've been him. And maybe you have too. There's a version of almost that a lot of us live in for a long time. Almost ready, almost in, watching from a distance because getting all the way in feels like too much or too risky, or maybe you've been burned before and you're just not sure you're trusting yet. But something pulled him through the door on Sunday, and that message found him. I want to say something about that man without drawing any attention to him because his story isn't mine to tell. But I will say this, his story is not unique. His story is the story of more people sitting in more seats than we ever realize. People who look like they're fine, people who showed up but aren't sure why, people who are one message away from something shifting. We are all in some form of recovery, every single one of us, and recovery from something we've lost, something we did, something that was done to us, something we believed that turned out not to be true, and sometimes the message finds us right in the middle of it. So I want to be honest about something I've carried for a while. My church is big. I mean, really big. More people attend on a weekly basis than lived in the town I grew up in. And when I say that out loud, it still surprises me. And I've had a quiet concern, one I voiced to people who know me, about what happens to a church when it gets that large. Because I've seen what mega church culture can become. I've seen the lights and the production and the performance take over and the intimacy disappear. I've seen people get lost in crowds instead of found in community. That's not what I wanted for my church. But here's what I also know. We have life groups. We have people in real community with each other throughout the week, not just showing up on Sunday and going home. We have younger generations coming in, and something that genuinely moves me, we are seeing men come through the door, men who historically have been the hardest to reach, men whose families showed up without them for years, and that is changing. So when my pastor shared this story with me about this man, about that moment, something lifted. Because what I felt in 2016 is still happening in the same place to different people in a much larger room. That's not growth for growth's sake. That's multiplication of something real. And that gave me joy, genuine joy and peace I didn't know I needed until I felt it. Here's what I want to leave you with. If you've been watching from a distance, online, occasionally showing up, not fully in yet, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you I understand exactly where you are. And I want you to know that the message has a way of finding you when you least expect it. But you have to be in the room. Steadiness isn't built in isolation, it's built in community, in life groups, in recovery rooms, in Sunday morning seats where sometimes a pastor says exactly what you needed to hear and you don't know how he knew. That's not magic. That's what happens when people are genuinely serving each other instead of performing for each other. Show up even when you're not sure why. The message has a way of finding you. If this connected with you today, share it with someone who's been watching from a distance, someone who's almost in but not quite yet. Sometimes the right word at the right moment is all it takes, and I'll see you in the next one.